If you didn't plan in when you were going to do it, you had no intention of doing it. A few weeks ago, I was at the quarterly meetup for the coaching program that I'm part of. And the coach said something in that meetup that initially triggered me. But I came to the realization a number of years ago that when something triggers you and something annoys you, there's probably a bit of delving deeper as to why that is. And often it's because it's made us question our own justifications, our own beliefs. It's held a bit of a mirror up to something that we've been telling ourselves, or a justification or a reason that we've been given. We don't generally get annoyed when someone says something that we don't think is actually true. We get annoyed when we know it to be true deep down. And what the coach said was exactly what I said as the title to this video, that if you hadn't planned when you were going to do it, you had no intention whatsoever of doing it. So the goals I didn't achieve last quarter, and I'm not achieving for the year as a whole, I hadn't put in my schedule. And if I hadn't put them in my schedule, not just the actual doing of them, but planned when I was going to plan them, when I was going to book them in, when I was going to do some of the prep work that needed to be done. If I hadn't planned when I was going to do that, I had no intention of doing it. I was just planning on fitting it in. And fitting it in is code for not committed to it. And that's a powerful realization that if we haven't planned something, we didn't really fully intend to do it. And that hopefully will then make us realize the benefit of then planning those things, of putting them into our schedule, of setting an intention as to when we're going to exercise, as to when we're perhaps going to organize our food for the week, when we're going to meditate, if that's something we're looking into. So if we've gone away from a conversation with me in the club, or from reading a blog, or from watching a video and thought, I'll give meditation a go, but then we haven't scheduled when we were going to do it, we had no intention whatsoever of doing it. If we didn't get any workouts in the week, and at no point had we scheduled when we might get some in, we had no intention whatsoever of doing them. If we were looking to make better food choices, but we hadn't scheduled when we were going to put some prep and thought and planning into that, we had no intention of making those better food choices. If that triggers anyone, if it annoys them, it's worth asking why. So let's get those things in our schedule. If we don't have a schedule already, if we don't use some sort of calendar, diary, app type thing, then I don't really think that we can give being too busy as justification for not doing something, because we're making no effort whatsoever to look at how that finite resource of time is being allocated. We can't say we don't have enough time to do something if we've made no effort whatsoever to manage our time properly. Again, if all this triggers you, brilliant. Question why that is. If you haven't planned when you're going to do something, you had no intention of doing it, and that's fine until it isn't. Let's just plan when we are going to do things going forward.